Welcome to the deep dive. We take a whole stack of sources, articles, research, all that stuff, and basically boil it down to the most important nuggets for you.
Get you right to the core of it.
Exactly. And today we're doing a pretty crucial deep dive looking into some, well, recent aviation incidents. Stuff that's been in the headlines definitely caught our attention.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission really is to get past those headlines. We want to dig into the specific events, understand the critical details, the human side of things too, and what all this actually tells us about the bigger picture of aviation safety.
Yeah.
And this deep dive, it's really tailored for you so you can quickly get some solid, well-informed insights. It's a dramatic topic sometimes, but super important.
Definitely.
So here's the thing, the sort of core paradox we're going to wrestle with today. Despite these really dramatic, sometimes tragic events, flying is still, widely seen as one of the safest ways to get around.
Right. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. So we're going to explore how these specific incidents, the ones that grab all the attention, how they fit into that much bigger, generally reassuring story, and what they teach us about that constant push for safety.
And what's really key here, I think, is that our goal isn't just to, list what happened.
No.
We're aiming to synthesize this information, maybe spot some patterns if they're there, connect the dots between things that might seem unrelated at first glance.
Right.
The focus, ultimately, has got to be on the lessons learned from each one and how that continuous improvement, it's not just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential in a field this complex, this high stakes aviation.
It's absolutely essential. Okay, so we've set the stage, this kind of incredible paradox. Now let's peel back the layers on some of these specific incidents. Each one is, a stark reminder of the forces involved. Mm-hmm. And we'll start with a truly tragic one. Very poignant event.
Yeah.
The Bangladesh fighter jet crash in Dhaka.
Yes, that was July 21st, 2025. A Bangladesh Air Force Chengdu FT-7BGI. That's a type of single-seat fighter trainer jet, often used for training pilots.
Okay.
It crashed really soon after takeoff. It hit the Milestone School campus in Dhaka's Uttara neighborhood. Just a terrible tragedy. It claimed 36 lives.
Wow.
It's one person in the jet and 35 people on the ground, and another 172 people were injured, 25 of them critically.
Oh, that's devastating.
It really is. It was particularly striking and just heartbreaking about this one. Reports indicate the pilot actually tried to steer away from the more crowded areas, likely trying to minimize casualties on the ground.
That detail about the pilot trying, that's incredibly moving. It just reminds you, doesn't it? Even in a catastrophe, there's immense human pressure, impossible decisions being made.
Absolutely, under unimaginable pressure.
Yeah. And so from that tragedy, kind of rooted in maybe immediate mechanical failure, we shift focus. Thousands of miles away, a totally different situation, right?
Yeah.
A state-of-the-art aircraft facing its own awful challenge. Air India Flight 171.
The Ahmedabad Dreamliner-crashed.
Exactly. June 12th, 2025. A Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. I mean, that's one of the most advanced passenger jets out there, praised for its tech, its efficiency.
Right, which makes potential issues perhaps even more concerning for people.
Totally.
Indeed. So, Air India Flight AI-171, it crashed just 32 seconds after taking off from Ahmedabad in India. It hit a college building.
32 seconds.
Yeah. The toll was just devastating. Almost everyone on board, 241 passengers and crew, died. And 19 people on the ground lost their lives. Over 60 others injured.
Unbelievable.
And in just a heartbreaking detail, only one single person survived among everyone who was on board the plane.
Oh, my goodness.
Investigations are currently looking at several potential causes, things like dual engine failure, maybe issues with flap settings.
Those are the wing parts for takeoff and landing, though.
Exactly, the movable surfaces.
Wow.
And even potential bird strikes are being considered.
So, wow, okay. So many possibilities. Dual engine failure, flaps, birds. I mean, when you have that many potential factors, how do investigators even start to untangle that? Is there like a hierarchy? What do they look at first to figure out what really went wrong?
Yeah, that's a really critical question. Usually investigators will prioritize the initial evidence. Things like the flight data recorders, the black boxes, and the cockpit voice recorders.
Yeah.
They're looking for, obvious anomalies first, or things that point strongly in one direction. But they also have to systematically rule out everything else. It's very methodical, often a slow process of elimination, reconstruction. It takes time.
Makes sense. Okay, so from passenger jets, let's maybe turn our attention to private aircraft now. We're moving across the globe to the U.S. There was another significant event, May 22nd, 2025, the San Diego Cessna Citation II crash.
Right.
That was a private plane, a Cessna Citation II. It's a pretty popular light business jet. It crashed into a residential area, Murphy Canyon, in San Diego. All 6 people on the aircraft were killed. And on the ground, at least 8 people were injured, and several homes were damaged. It's a reminder, isn't it, that even smaller aircraft incidents can have a huge impact, especially near populated areas.
Precisely. The impact ripples outward. And then going back a bit further to January 2025, we had that incredibly rare and, frankly, shocking event over the Potomac River, the mid-air collision.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one vividly, a mid-air collision. It just seems almost unthinkable these days. It's so rare.
It truly is. Extremely rare. This was a collision. Happened right above the Potomac River near Washington, D.C. It involved an American Eagle Bombardier CRJ-700 airliner, that's a regional passenger jet, and a U.S. Army Sikorsky Black Hawk helicopter.
2 very different aircraft.
Very different. And
Yeah.
tragically, all 67 people aboard both aircraft were killed.
Awful.
Yeah. But this tragedy led directly to swift regulatory changes. New restrictions were put in place almost immediately on helicopter flight paths near Reagan National Airport. It really shows how the system can respond quickly to critical events.
So, okay, that quick change near Reagan, that's not just a reaction, is it? It sounds like a prime example of that continuous improvement you talked about earlier, like specifically targeting known conflict points in busy airspace. Does that kind of constant adaptation, even after something so tragic, does that underscore how air travel manages to maintain its safety record overall?
Absolutely. I think it does. The speed and the specificity of that response, it's a direct reflection of the system's commitment to learning and adapting. It's not about pretending incidents don't happen.
Right.
It's about ensuring every single incident, especially one as rare and shocking as a mid-air collision, leads to real, tangible safety improvements. And, while we focused on these sort of high-profile incidents, our sources also mentioned other fatal crashes from around the same time frame.
Ah, okay.
It indicates that these events, while distinct, they are part of an ongoing challenge across different types of aviation, different parts of the world.
Tell us a bit more about those then.
Sure. Well, there was the Royal Thai Police DHC-6 crash on April 25th, 2025. That was a Twin Otter, a really robust, smaller turboprop plane, often used for utility flights, regional stuff.
Okay, Twin Otter.
It went down into the sea near Hua Hin. Apparently lost both engines during a test flight, killed all 6 people on board.
Both engines. Wow.
Yeah. And then on March 17th, 2025, there was Lanza Flight 018. That was a Jetstream 32, another regional turboprop. It crashed into the sea just after takeoff in Honduras. Suspected engine failure there, too. 13 fatalities out of the 18 people on board.
So another one with engine issues shortly after takeoff.
It seems so. Each of these, different circumstances, different locations, different aircrafts, but they add to this sort of ongoing global picture of aviation safety and the different kinds of challenges faced.
Okay, so bringing this all together then, what does it all mean when we sort of step back and look for patterns? It's easy to get caught up in the drama and the immediacy of each crash, but what do these events taken together, what do they really tell us about where aviation safety is today?
Well, putting these into that broader perspective,
Ah.
despite how serious and tragic each one is, it is essential to remember that air travel still remains one of the safest ways to travel.
Right.
Period.
Right.
As one aviation safety analyst actually noted in our sources, many accidents happen sporadically. They don't necessarily indicate broader systemic problems across the whole industry.
Okay.
And this raises a really important point. While every single incident demands rigorous investigation, full transparency, proactive safety enhancements, they don't automatically cancel out the overall safety record.
That's a really crucial distinction, I think, and probably reassuring for you listening. But I can imagine some might argue, couldn't they, that even sporadic incidents might reveal underlying vulnerability, things that could become systemic if they aren't addressed properly. How do safety bodies kind of balance that immediate sporadic assessment with the need for, long-term preventative system checks?
That's the constant balancing act, isn't it? The sporadic assessment often relates to the immediate cause effect, right? Preventing kind of knee-jerk conclusions about the whole system based on one event.
Okay.
But the rigorous investigation that always follows, it always looks for those potential systemic connections. Is it a design flaw that could affect other planes? Is it a gap in training? Is it a regulatory oversight? The goal is always to find the absolute root cause, no matter how isolated the incident might seem at first.
To stop it happening again.
Exactly. To prevent any future recurrence, whether it looks sporadic or potentially systemic, it's an incredibly proactive, iterative process, constantly learning, constantly adjusting.
So we've taken you through a tough, but I think incredibly important deep dive today. We've
Wow.
touched on everything from that fighter jet crash in Dhaka, the Dreamliner in Ahmedabad, that shocking midair collision over the Potomac, and several other tragic events, too. The gravity is just undeniable. And these incidents really underscore the continuous challenges, but also, frankly, the incredible dedication to safety that exists within aviation.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's try and tie this all together for you. We know, as we said, that aviation safety analysts often point out many accidents are sporadic, right? Not necessarily signs of massive systemic failure.
Right.
Yet every single one of these tragic incidents demands meticulous investigation, total transparency, and they actively drive new safety enhancements. So here's maybe a thought to leave you with.
Okay.
How do these individual, often heartbreaking events which trigger so much scrutiny and demand for action, how do they ultimately reinforce your understanding that air travel is still incredibly safe? And maybe what does that relentless, ongoing dedication to improvement, learning from every mistake, tell us about human ingenuity